Pokemon X is way too easy, so today I decided to make things a little bit harder. I'll beat Pokemon X while taking 0 damage, which includes passive damage, wizard damage, or recoil damage. I won't play on set mode since it'll be impossible, at this point I would have done a single Pokemon run, it would have been easier. I play on switch mode so I'm able to switch my mods freely. Now I'm not forced to catch only the first encounter per route, so I'm able to catch any Pokemon I'd like, including legendaries, to make it a bit easier. I'm aware that many people already did this challenge, but I'd like to try a new way of completing it. Well, many people are scared of early game quick attack, especially on the first gym, so they kinda overlevel all their mods. But this time, I'll not overlevel my mods and they'll be not much above the level cap. So in order to avoid quick attack from Sarskit, I need to choose Fennekin. Explain why later, so I picked Fennekin and named it Rengoku. This early game will be kind of long to play because I will have to level up my Fennekin a lot in order to beat the first trainer on Route 2. And there is a kind of a problem. My Fennekin is adamant nature, so beating the Chespin will be a lot harder since it takes 3 hits to take it down. So it needs to use Growl twice, or I need to use Growl once, and I need a crit on a second hit. Most of you will think that it will take a lot of time to beat this Chespin, but not really, it all depends on the RNG. I could get it even first attempt if I was lucky enough. Well, luckily it did not take a lot of time. On my fourth attempt I got a critical hit, but it was not enough, and Chespin unfortunately used Vine Whip. Well, yeah, at least there's a way to beat Chespin. On my 6th attempt, so I made it. And Shona healed my Pokemon, but I think she needs it more. While leveling up, this happened. I used all of my Ember's PV and I ran into a wild Weedle, so Scratch wouldn't kill unless a crit, and it was a 50-50 if either it used a String Shot or Poison Sting. Luckily it used String Shot and I was able to avoid another reset. I then met a shiny. The problem was I ran out of Pokeballs. I had 0 and no way to buy some. So all I could do is watch Weedle die. I took a screenshot to remember it, but yeah, nothing could do. Emotional damage. After 2 hours of training on Route 2, it was time to battle the first trainer. It had a level 5 Zigzagoon, and luckily a single flame charge from Rengoku was enough to handle it. It was time to challenge the first gym leader, so I evolved Fennekin to Braixen, and yeah, in order to counter Sarskit, I chose Fennekin, since in that case it will always go for Water Sport to weaken fire type moves. Yeah, and some of the Pokemon are a bit lagged. Yeah, don't mind that, I'm playing on Sidra on Android and it has some bugs sometimes. Well, as I said, I used Flame Charge to boost my speed in order to fully outspeed Vivillon. I learned Psybeam since it will help in the upcoming battle. Well, not this one against Viola, but against Professor Sycamore. Well, now all it takes is one Flame Charge to one hit KO Vivillon. And that's it for the first batch, very easy, it took me nearly 3 hours, not that much. Speaking of Professor Sycamore, it was time to challenge it. Well, I kind of forgot to take into account that Rengoku is adamant, so I kind of miscalculated things. Well, luckily in this run I was lucky enough to pull it off even while being underleveled. A single flame charge is always enough for Bulbasaur. Now the problem is Squirtle, it will always survive one Psybeam. Well, unless it's a crit, and this is exactly what happened. I used Psybeam and a critical hit was enough to end Squirtle. Well, now the problem was Charmander. It had the Smokescreen which it could use as a status move in case Psybeam does not crit. Well, and this is what happened. I'm kinda lucky, so that kind of thing is common to me. I pretty much rely on luck this whole run. I decided to end it with Amber because the animation of breaks and spin its stick is so fire. Like, it's literally one of the main reasons I chose Fennekin, like, not to beat Sarskit, but only to lose this animation. Well, anyway, at Route 6 I catch a Nincada, which will shortly later evolve into Shedinja, which is very helpful in this run. Upon reaching Route 8, I encounter a Mienfoo, which does takes a while to catch, like literally it won't get caught. First ball was likely used Meditate. I thought the run was already over, but I needed that Mienfoo for all the runs, like one of the main reasons I will be able to beat this run probably. And yeah, it kept using Meditate, so I don't really know why, but the AI loves me, I guess. Well, and I finally caught it. It took me a while and will take me a lot more to revolve it. Well, after smashing some rocks and catching a head-up tile with a dust ball due to it being night time already, like it's been like 10 hours since I started this run already. And after exploring the cave, I was ready to challenge the second gym leader. Breaks involved into Delphox and Nincada into Shedinja. Despite being adamant, Delphox at level 36 can handle Amaura with a single Psyshock. Against Tyrant, I decided to use Mienfoo. So a single fake out for chip damage and the drain punch were enough to end the second gym. This one took me so much time and I'm glad it finally ended. It was then time to challenge Sirena. Here, Shedinja comes in clutch. Serena always leads with Meowstic, so I lead with Helioptile for it to get XP, and I switch into Shedinja. A switch into Shedinja is pretty safe, due to Meowstic not knowing any Ghost type moves yet. I then double switch into Mienfoo since the AI will 100% always send Absol. A single Drain Punch is enough for Absol, and now Shedinja can pretty easily sweep this battle. After a bit of training, it was time to challenge Corinne as the third gym leader. I led with Helonisk, well, only to make it get XP, since before walling I'd like to level it up to 49 in order for it to learn Wall Switch and Thunderbolt. Well, now it was time for Shedinja to shine until it could. A double into Tengen followed by a fake out makes it flinch, dealing great damage. Then a jump kick is what it takes to take down Machoke. Against Halucia, I send Helioptile only to get XP. Then a switch into Shedinja is pretty safe due to Halucia not knowing any fighting type moves. It will keep using Home Claws, but that doesn't matter anymore, since Shedinja can pretty much take out the whole gym now. It was then time for the first gym. It was really easy due to Rengoku outspeeding all of their moves. I start by using Mystical Fire on Jump Lab, which is enough to end it. The goat will go to the same end, but this time I use Flamethrower to secure the win. Against Sweeping Bell, I use Psybeam, which is enough to take it down. Clement was pretty easy to beat too. Against Smolga, I sent down Rengoku, which with a single flamethrower is enough to take down Emolga. Shedinja was kinda underleveled, so I decided to send it out against Magneton. Well, it had no way of damaging me. I switch against Heralisk due to it being half normal type. A single jump kick from Yanfu is enough to finish the Heralisk, which brings me to the 5th stage. Before heading to the 6th gym, the fairy type one, I catch a Sharpedo. This gym is pretty easy too. Mobile goes down to a single flamethrower. Sylveon got no way of damaging me, so I just used Toxic and stalled for time. Mr. Mime was pretty easy to beat, with me using a U-turn for chip damage and switching into Sharpedo to avoid a psychic type move, but it used Reflect. Well, anyway, It used Hyper Potion, but it won't help it much. A single crunch, which gets a critical hit, is enough to take down Mr. Mime and bring me the 6th badge. It was then time to challenge Serena again, but it was so easy that I would just clip the parts of me taking down all of her mons. Then I challenge the Anistar City Gym. Due to me having a dark type in my team, it was quite easy. Three crunches is what it took to take down Anistar City Gym. It was quite easy. I received a completely useless TM, like I'm doing a damageless run. How am I supposed to set up? It was time to slap Lysandra, but I kind of forgot to press the record button while doing this match, and yeah. Well, enjoy the black screen, I guess. Well, of course I forgot to record the most important part of the match against Lysander, but I didn't forget to record this useless story. After all of this, I had to just change town to stop Lysandre and get my Xerneas. I had no reasons to record this match due to me re-challenging Lysandre with the same team like seconds later. And it was time for the most difficult battle of all, against Xerneas, the legendary Pokemon with the incredible stats and the advantage over two members of my team. Nah, well, to be honest, it wasn't that hard. Well, all I did is throw in a master ball and that's it, the end. It was then time to challenge Lysandre again, but this time he had a Mega Gallardos. It was kinda easy too. A single Moonblast from Xerneas was enough to take down Mian Chao, a single Thunderbolt for Honchkrow, a high jump kick for Pyroar, and a poison jump for Mega Gallardos. Now the Ice type gym was the most difficult due to the weather. Yeah, I will take 100% damage at the end of the turn. So to counter this, I had a strategy. When Wolfric sent out Abomasnow, I sent out Shedinja, which learned Sunny Day. It used Sunny Day to counter the weather, then Avalok came in which knows Crunch. So Confuse Ray, and it had to hit itself in Confusion twice. One to avoid the hit for the first turn and one on the switch, and that's when Mian Chao was able to take it down with a single high jump kick. I send Rengoku against Cryogonal, and it easily takes it out with a single flamethrower. The last turn I won't take any damage, but I decide to anyway use Shedinja against Abomasnow. So the reason is for Abomasnow knowing Ice Shard. Well, it had no other way of damaging Shedinja, so this strat was pretty safe. I used Sunny Day on turn 1, and then just Toxic and stall for time. It was then time for the Elite 4. But yeah, it was way too easy, like the first gym took me much more trouble than the whole Elite 4 and the champion. I just sent in Sharpedo, which with a few waterfalls is able to end this Elite 4 battle. Luckily in this generation Torkoal didn't have growth, so a single waterfall was enough to end that beast, which otherwise could have been a very big problem. It was time for the second Elite 4, but It's still typing could have been a problem, but not really. Well, Rengoku dealt with Klefki pretty easily with a single flamethrower. Well, Probopass had the started, so a fake out followed by hack jump kick was enough to take it down. Against Aegislash, a flamethrower, so that's for Sizer. It was time for the third Elite 4, which was pretty much easy. A Psybeam on Dragalge and Moonblast for all the other moons. This is the whole main reason why I chose X instead of I, since Yveltal would have been pretty useless here. Then it was time for the easiest Elite 4 yet. It was literally swept by Heliolisk. What's more funny is that Heliolisk has the lowest stats of all of my team members. So it was able to take down an Elite 4 without any help. It was then time for Dianta, which didn't cause me much problems, like I expected it to be much harder. Heliolisk was able to take down Halucha with a single Thunderbolt. Gudra was took down with a single Moonblast from Xerneas. Then Tyrant follows the same fate of dying in one turn from a Moonblast. Against Aurorus, a single high jump kick was enough. I faced new Shadow Sneak, so I had to send out Sharpedo, which was weak to Seed Bomb, so it would use Seed Bomb instead of Shadow Sneak. Against Mega Gardevoir, it was easy. Mian Chao used Fake Out on turn 1. Then all it took was a single Poison Jab for Mega Gardevoir. And that's it, I beat Pokemon X while taking absolutely zero damage. Well, I hope you like this run, and I will surely do many others in the future. This run took me 23 hours, so not that much. Could have been worse. Well, I became the champion and the run ended here, so see ya on the next Pokemon Nuzlocke.